Today, we are diving into a really powerful shift in leadership. How to move from being the boss who just gives orders to becoming the coach who actually helps people grow. It's all about going from having all the answers to asking all the right questions.
So let me ask you, does this sound familiar? You're trying to get your own work done, and suddenly there's a knock on your office door, or, another Slack message pops up. Someone on your team is stuck. Again. And of course, they've come to you, because you always have the answer.
And look, it feels pretty good to be the hero, right? The person who can swoop in and just fix anything. But there's a huge hidden cost to this. You end up becoming the bottleneck. Absolutely nothing moves forward without you. Your own to-do list just keeps getting longer. And here's the real kicker. While you're busy solving everyone else's problems, your team isn't learning how to solve them for themselves. Yep, you've just walked into the problem solver's trap.
Our manager in this story is completely burned out, and their team, well, they've become super dependent. It's at this point they realize that for the team to actually grow, and frankly for them to get any of their own time back, their role has to change in a big way. It's time to make the shift from boss to coach.
Okay, so what does that shift even look like? Well, let's break it down. The boss mindset is all about giving answers. It's focused on tasks, on just getting stuff done, and it dictates the how. But the coach mindset, that's totally different. A coach asks powerful questions, focuses on the long-term growth of their people, and empowers the team by explaining the why, giving them the context they need to figure out the how, all on their own.
So how in the world do you actually make this change? I mean, it's not like you need a personality transplant or anything. It's really just about building new skills. Let's zone in on 4 specific, totally doable coaching habits that are going to transform your leadership style one conversation at a time.
Here they are, the big 4. Ask powerful questions, listen way more than you speak, focus on growth over tasks, and be a guide, not a dictator. All right, let's dig into what each of these actually looks like in the real world. Okay, habit number 1. And honestly, this one can be the hardest because it goes against our every instinct to just jump in and provide the solution. So the next time a team member comes to you with a problem, instead of immediately giving them the answer, just try this one simple question. What have you tried so far? That single question instantly changes the whole dynamic. It tells them, hey, I trust you to think about this, and it puts the ownership right back where it belongs.
But asking a great question is only half the battle. You have to actually listen to the answer. And that's where habit number 2 comes in. Here's a little trick for you. The next time you're in a conversation, try waiting 3 full seconds after your teammate finishes talking before you say anything. That little pause, it creates space. It stops you from interrupting, and it shows you genuinely care about what they're thinking.
Now, this next point is absolutely crucial for this whole transformation to work. You have to redefine what success means to you. Your success is no longer just about your own personal output. It's measured by the development of your team. So start looking for those little opportunities for growth. Maybe you let a more junior person lead a low-stakes meeting. It might not be perfect, sure, but the confidence and the skills they build, that's the real victory.
And our final habit kind of ties it all together. Be a guide, not a dictator. So instead of laying out every single step, focus on explaining the goal, the why. Why is this report even important? Who is it for? And then you've got to do the hard part. Step back and let the team figure out the how. This is how you build real autonomy and critical thinking.
All right, so imagine our manager has been practicing these 4 habits for a few weeks. The team is starting to be more proactive, and the manager is feeling way less overwhelmed. But what does this really look like in an everyday situation? Let's check out the payoff. Okay, let's look at the before. A developer comes to you with a bug. The manager, being the expert, just tells them the fix. Oh yeah, just do X and Y. Problem solved in 5 minutes, right? But the developer learned absolutely nothing. Now let's look at the after. Same situation, but this time the manager responds with a question. Interesting. What do you think is causing it? The developer actually thinks it through, finds the solution on their own, and boom, grows their skills. The problem gets solved, and the problem solver gets developed. Big difference.
And what starts as just a technique to maybe reduce your own burnout, well, it becomes a complete redefinition of your role as a manager. It's no longer about you being the smartest person in the room. It's about building a room full of smart, capable people who can find the answers all by themselves. And this brings us to the core takeaway of this whole thing. This is the new philosophy to live by. Your job isn't to have all the answers. It's to create an environment where your team can discover them. It's a huge shift from being the source of all knowledge to being the facilitator of learning.
So, I'll leave you with this little challenge. You don't have to change everything overnight. Just try one thing. In your very next one-on-one, when a challenge comes up, just resist that urge to give advice. Instead, ask them, "So, what do you think is the best way forward?" And just see what happens.